Okay, I'm gonna make a delicious Greek tin-baked cake made out of pistachios and honey. I've collected the honey myself, and I'm gonna cook it here in this beautiful place, looking at this wonderful view in a pistachio grove. So it's a pistachio and honey cake. It's pretty simple, it's got about 10 ingredients or so. I've got 5 free-range eggs. The thing I like about this cake, apart from it's delicious, is the fact that you can whack it all in a bowl. You know, there's no sort of separate, you know, whipping of egg whites or mucking around. You literally get it all in a bowl, you whisk it all up, and it works. I've got 225 grams of lovely Greek yogurt, 225 grams of caster sugar, and then I'm gonna use 75 grams of ground almonds. And you know, having ground almonds in desserts out here is lovely. You get great flavour. Then I'm gonna have the zest of 1 lemon, just to give it that nice citrus flavour, and the orange. 150 grams of plain flour goes in. Back on the scales. 200 grams of semolina. 1 levelish teaspoon of baking powder goes in. 200 millilitres of olive oil. And you don't want a really peppery olive oil, a nice sort of mild, creamy olive oil. Gonna mix it all up. And that's it. I'm just gonna put a little olive oil into it like that. Use your hands all around the edge. And then to sort of make it non-stick, just add a little flour. And then just jiggle it about. And the mix goes in. And it's as simple as that. The lovely thing about this pudding as well is you'll get a good couple of days out of it. So get it all out. I love the idea of really embracing the olive oil as well. And, you know, that'll be unusual, but, you know, how much healthier is it to use olive oil instead of butter as well? So what we're going to do now is pop this in an oven at about 180 degrees Celsius, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, for about 30-35 minutes. Right, so we've got the pudding here. It's been out the oven about an hour, so it's cooled down. It looks lovely, but the exciting bit's going to happen now. We've got the pistachios going into the pan. I'm just going to sort of toast them up a little bit. These are around, oh, about 150 grams go in. Just get something flat or, you know, just to crush. I want to have some whole pistachios and some small bits and some tiny bits to make a little topping. And at this point, I'm going to put about 100 mils of that beautiful honey. It's not the stuff I got today, but it's the stuff from the same guy from last summer, which is his favourite time of the year for honey. And it's going to start just heating up. There you go. You can see the honey's starting to boil now. If I left that, that would go to a caramel. But what I want to do is turn it right down and cut the orange and the lemon that I took the zest off of and put that in now, just to give it that lovely citrus again. The lemon and the orange. What I'm going to do now is go into the sponge with a little knife and just stab into it like that. And what we're basically going to do is make little holes so the syrup can sink into it. Now, there's one thing to remember. If you want the flavour to really go into a beautiful sponge like this, you either need a hot sponge and a cold syrup, or a hot syrup and a cold sponge. And that way, it will get absorbed the most in there. So I'm just going to pour that in like that. And what you want to do is just move this around and let the honey just suck right into the sponge. And it looks quite wet at the moment, but what's quite nice is if you leave this for about 10-15 minutes and keep putting the syrup over the sponge, it'll suck it all up. And what you can do is, if you've got a little puddle of honey in the middle, just go back through there again, and it will soon go. probably quite nice to leave it for 10 or so minutes. Let's portion one up anyway. I've got some strawberries here that I've basically squeezed the juice of half an orange in there, just a little tablespoon of, you know, sugar, and you get that lovely glaze and shine on there. Lovely to eat. I've got some Greek yogurt. So let's just cut this little baby. Don't know what the right or wrong way to cut it is, but let's go for it. Hopefully if I did my non-stick right, we'll be laughing. Look at that. Okay, that's a really good example. You can see basically where that beautiful orangey lemony honey syrup has gone right down into the sponge through those little holes we made. And if I put my finger on the pistachios, they'll stick to your finger like that. They're almost like little mini kind of toffee pistachios, right? So I'm going to put that just in the middle of the plate like that. I'm going to get some of that lovely Greek yogurt. And Greek yogurt is some of the best yogurt in the world, isn't it? It's so rich and lovely. Just a dollop like that. And then these strawberries here, just take a nice little spoon there, just to give a bit of freshness. You know, you've got that lovely rich flavours there, just a bit of freshness. It's delicious. And then you know what? I mean, you don't have to do this, there's enough sugar there already, but I can't help just wanting to get just a little slice of that honeycomb, you know. I'm just going to put a little piece like that on the side. Lovely. A great little dish. Beautiful.